Some tech experts are warning about the potential dangers of fast-moving and unregulated artificial intelligence as more facets of everyday life turn to AI. The CEO of Anthropic, a major AI company, told Anderson Cooper the technology has its very real dangers. Here's a little bit of their conversation from 60 Minutes.
You've said AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years.
Yes,
that's shocking.
That is the future we could see if we don't become aware of this problem now.
Half of all entry-level white-collar jobs.
Well, if we look at entry-level consultants, lawyers, financial professionals, many of kind of the white-collar service industries, a lot of what they do, AI models are already quite good at, and without intervention. It's hard to imagine that there won't be some significant job impact there. And my worry is that it'll be broad and it'll be faster than what we've seen with previous technology.
CBS News contributor and former U.S. cybersecurity chief Chris Krebs is here to weigh in on all of this and this particularly troublesome warning for us. Chris, always good to see you, my friend. So let's talk about this warning, which is sort of ironic coming from the head of one of the major AI companies. Help people understand why someone like him would be raising these concerns.
Well, Anthropic is a company that's actually almost constitutionally founded on safety, on understanding what the risks are with the technology that they're developing and putting out into the marketplace, putting out there into society. And in that regard, they're a bit of a standout and a standalone. So credit to Dario and his team, and I've talked to his team for years now about what they're doing and how they're viewing the risk here. But a number of the points that he makes, including the displacement of large segments of the workforce, are absolutely something that is in the very near term. When you think again about those white collar jobs, consulting, lawyers even, they're being displaced by agentic AI. So AI that is autonomous and conducts activities and actions on its own. That's happening right now. It is a real concern.
So, as you know, people are leaning more and more on AI and chatbots for seemingly everything. I've joked in the segment leading up to this that I always say thank you to ChatGPT, just because in 20 years when they're like controlling the planet, I want them to say, well, this guy was nice to me, so he doesn't go to the gulag. But what is the most, like all kidding aside, what is the most, the thing that concerns you the most? The fact that we're leaning so heavily on artificial intelligence for mundane tasks, but not just what we're using it for example, what governments are using it for.
Yeah, well, first off, I think the AI labs would tell you, don't do that. Don't think the AI. Yes, you may be concerned about HAL or Skynet down the road, but it does take up a great deal of compute, even just to generate that simple reaction of, you're welcome, let me know if there's anything else. That is inefficient allocation of compute power. So, Vlad, don't do that anymore.
That's good to know.
To your
so
point,
interesting.
It is something that's being integrated into government systems, government workflows on a daily basis. You hear this in the halls of the Pentagon about how AI can help drive weapons platforms, how it can assist pilots in identifying threats and mitigating threats as they're in flight and dogfighting. So it is being used, is being integrated on a daily basis. But what I found so interesting in that 60-minute interview last evening, was when they talked to the safety team about how they're highly prioritized on identifying chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear type threats that are bad actors, terrorists that are using these chatbots and these large language models to help develop tools of destruction, weapons of mass destruction that could show up in New York City, they could show up in London and Paris and elsewhere. So again, credit to the Anthropic team and those at OpenAI and others for putting resources against this, of realizing that you cannot just throw unfettered, unshackled LLMs out there without really thinking through what the risks are and then putting those appropriate guardrails in place.
Chris, really quickly before you go, do we have enough energy? To your point about saying thank you and expecting a response, does the United States, does the world have enough energy to power this artificial intelligence revolution which people say is coming?
Well, I think if you listen to the analysts, if you flip over to the folks at CNBC and listen to the folks they have on every day, there is a big question about whether there's enough power to actually, energy to power the data centers that are spinning up. The investment's great. It is driving a booming stock market right now. But at the same time, we're seeing in our homes every day these rising power bills. And we're reactivating nuclear plants to drive the AI. So I think this is a real question, and I don't think we're quite where we need to be right now on the energy side.
Yeah, it's a good point. Chris Krebs, always great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you very much.